Case of cyberbullying and a 13-year-old girl caught in the middle of a sexting situation. She thought it was her boyfriend. She sent the pictures to her boyfriend. But then, after they broke up, the boyfriend started sending out all of these pictures to all of the friends, everyone at the school. These were sexy photos of herself. So ultimately, the girl was very upset because this is something the whole world could see.
They went after her online. They went after her on social media. They went after her in school as well. They isolated her. They made fun of her. They did everything they could to make her life hell on earth.
So far, 3 students ranging in ages from 11 to 15, they have been charged, and this comes on the heels of another sexting case involving hundreds of students at a high school in Colorado just this week. So we're going to talk about the lesson here. So we're going to bring in our social media expert. This is JJ Cannon, and also an attorney, Rocco Cipparone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Rocco, I want to start with you because when we hear about this sexting for these young kids, I mean 11, 13, 15 years old, how much legal trouble can they really be in?
And they don't realize it. They can be in a lot of legal trouble. The first thing that happens is they get charged potentially as a juvenile delinquent. If the case is particularly egregious, they can potentially go to a juvenile detention facility. They can be required to register as Megan's Law offenders in some circumstances, so it can lead to really serious consequences.
And what's a Megan's Law offender for those who don't know?
You have to register as a sex offender. There are different tiers, but you have to report to your local police wherever you live, and it can be public in some cases.
Now, we know the situation with this JJ. I mean, she was dating this guy. She probably thought, oh, you know, might be puppy love. I'm going to send pictures to him, and I trust him. He's my boyfriend. But then they break up, and then this happened. As a parent, what would you tell your kids who are starting to date?
What I do tell my kids is that you don't ever trust somebody that would ask you to send them an inappropriate photo in the first place, because that is absolutely unacceptable in our house. My oldest daughter is 12 now, so we're kind of entering that phase. There aren't any boys involved. We don't encourage any of that. But I say anonymity is the new virginity, and these kids don't understand that several years from now, they might want that back. And there's no 1-800 number for your mom and dad to call to have an embarrassing photo removed from the internet.
To make it all go away. It's like once it goes out there, it's just out there.
Prevention is key, and I'm astonished that we are not doing more to educate children much younger. I'm talking 7 years old. People are giving their children cell phones when they're 6.
So you're saying as soon as you put the cell phone in the child's hand, they need to know about what they send out.
They need to know the consequences, and the biggest preventative measure that parents can take is to set guidelines in their phone that do not allow anyone in the house to purchase or download any apps from the App Store without permission, meaning a password.
Well, speaking of those consequences, before we get more into that, I mean, when it comes to, we were talking about this, Rocco, if a person were to take a picture of themselves, and it's a sexy picture, they can even be prosecuted, even if it's just them in the photo, but they took it.
Even if you take a selfie, just retain it on your own phone. If you're caught in possession of that photograph, presumably a nude photograph or a sexually explicit photograph, it is a crime in theory.
Why is that? I mean, what if they say, hey, it's my body, it's my phone, my picture?
Because if it's a minor we're talking about now, it's the possession of obscene material under most states' laws and the sexting laws that have been enacted.
But even more than that, so if, let's say you take that picture, you send it to someone, they didn't ask for it, you decide to send it to someone, they can get in trouble for receiving it.
Exactly. A lot of kids don't know this. If you receive a photograph, even if it's unsolicited, because you can't control who sends you something, if you retain it on your phone, if you don't delete it, or even if you just show it to a friend, that's a crime.
Wow. So if you take it, you send it, if you keep it, all of those people, if you're involved, you could get prosecuted.
Correct. So just don't do it. It can get you in a lot of trouble.
So as a parent, JJ, I would be at home thinking, oh, let me run to my kid's phone. I'm just going to delete all the pictures on their phone. Is that enough?
No, because you need to teach them that it's to have enough self-respect and self-worth to not be taking pictures of themselves like that in the first place. I see online every day boys asking girls for pap of you in your sports bra, pap of you in your whatever, which is post a picture of yourself.
Like, what's pap? Okay.
Post a picture of yourself.
So that's something for parents to know. If you hear pap, now we know what that means.
There's a lot of pressure, and I do think that girls get lulled into a false sense of security, and I don't want to bash the boys because there are just as many girls that go aggressively after boys that they like and think, oh, if I send him this picture, they'll like me.
You mentioned an app really quickly because we're wrapping up here that parents could use to help make sure they're monitoring what their kids are doing.
It's not even an app. In the settings in most phones, and I'm speaking from the iPhone point of view, we have it set that our kids cannot go into the App Store and download anything without a password, which my husband and I are the only ones that have.
So they have to go to you and get approval. That's wonderful.
So people are just letting their kids have free reign unnecessarily.
Okay. Well, thank you so so much, Rocco and JJ. Sounds like it starts with a conversation.
Yes.
A big one. All right, 7:35. Sue?